Flat fees are not going to work until your mindset changes. Hi, I'm Brita, and I am here for the Happier Attorney, where we talk about flat fees and about mindset and all of the things so that you can live a great life while practicing law. When we are thinking about fees, we have mostly all been taught how to think in terms of hourly fees. And that does us a real disservice because what that does is the only way that we think about our value is based on our time. We don't think about our value being our judgment, what kind of great work we do for our client, our experience, whether we have good people skills or not, whether we see things that other people don't see, other attorneys wouldn't see, whether we're creative or not. Those are largely irrelevant. They're certainly not glorified in our profession. They're certainly not valued in our profession. What is the almighty is billing, is how many hours you build, how much money you make. And the more work you do, the more hours you do, the longer it takes to do something, the more you get paid. And what's worse than that is in our profession, we've really glorified overworking. We've really glorified being overworking and overbusy. It's almost a status symbol. Well, not almost, it is a status symbol. It is, again, our value is based on that. And that's pretty messed up, quite frankly. And so when you start using flat fees, if you're using them properly, you're starting to change how you think. If you don't start changing how you think you're going to be in trouble. Because then you're just going to base your flat fee on how long something took. And that is not the right way to base your fee. It's the worst way to base your fee. And so you're wanting to start thinking about your value. How are you charging that's not just based on your time? Well, that might be a factor. What are you bringing to the table? What does your client get that they might not get with another attorney? Your experience, how you see things, how you speak to people. Maybe it's just you. They want to work with you. You're going to start, hopefully, if you're doing it right, working less. That can bring up its own issues with people, especially when we are just so caught up in overworking. It can feel really weird, like you're not doing something right. Like you should be working. You should be more. You should, it brings up some anxiety. And so I would invite you, if that happens, to start questioning your assumptions. Start questioning that feeling. Really, why? Why should I be working in the evening? Why should I be working on the weekend? Do I really need to be working over 40 hours a week to be a good attorney? No. By the way, I would argue that you're a better attorney when you don't overwork. But you have to be willing to question your assumptions when you're using flat fee, because the assumptions come up and we assume that they're true. We assume, oh, nobody will pay a higher fee at the beginning. Yeah, they will. If they understand it's actually probably not a higher fee. Sometimes it is, sometimes it's not. It's just that they know what it is. But no, we think nobody will pay that. Oh, I'm in a rural area. Nobody can pay that. Okay, well, we're not charging Manhattan prices if you are in a rural area. But yes, people will pay if they understand the value. We assume that, oh, our business is going to go under. Oh, we assume that it has to be based just on our time. We make all of these assumptions, and they're not true. So when you're using flat fees properly, you have to be willing to test your assumptions. You also have to be willing to be uncomfortable. Because when you are pricing appropriately, when you are having appropriate boundaries with clients, there are going to be times when it's uncomfortable. It's scary. And you have to get comfortable being uncomfortable. At least being willing to feel it and move forward. You have to be willing to try and try again. People want an exact science with flat fees, and that's not how it works. There's not a perfect fee for any case, much less every case. And you have to be willing to try something and adjust. Oh, that fee was a little low. I need to next time increase it. Oh, that boundary wasn't as holding firm as I wanted. I need to adjust. And you need to be willing to do it again. I can't tell you how many times I've heard, oh, I tried flat fees once and it was a disaster, so they don't work. With respect, think of how silly that sounds. You tried something that you've never done before, with no instruction, you've never seen anybody else do it, and you expected it to work perfectly or even work the first time? Is that a realistic expectation? No, of course not. Think of if you were going to make a loaf of bread and you didn't have a recipe, you had never done it before, you had never watched anybody do it. You had no idea what you were doing. You just threw some water and flour and yeast together. Guess what? It's not going to work. That's why you keep trying. That's why you learn how to do it properly. That's where I come in. So if you want to learn how to do it properly, click below breedalong.com and find out how you can do that. Get on the mailing list, read the book, read the books, learn how to do it properly. But don't quit. That's how we learn. We learn to do by doing. So hopefully you've gotten some value out of this, but you've got to change your mindset in order to use flat fees really well. Just little tweaks, not huge shifts, but just little tweaks will get you there. So I'm Brita Long, and it would be great if you would subscribe, like, comment, so that other attorneys can get this information as well, and we can all be a little bit happier as attorneys. So take care. Talk to you soon.